The time has come, the walrus said, to try playing this darn thing for the very first time and see if it sounds any good at all. So let's give it a shot. It's got a bit of an airy tone to it. I think I have a leak somewhere. Playing's all about setting up the standing wave so it actually communicates down the whole tube. If you have a leak in it or an open hole, it causes problems. I went and taped off the third valve with painter's tape. Possibly not the best application for this, but it at least probably won't hurt the finish, what little there is left. And it comes off easily without leaving a whole lot of residue. I don't think that's the source of my problem though. I'm gonna have to dig into this a little bit, try to figure out what's going on. Back in a minute. Well, after looking at it for a minute, I definitely located that there's a leak here, where the lead pipe actually goes from the mouthpiece interface into the main lead pipe that travels down the body of the tuba and into the first run. So I put a bit of painter's tape over that to try to seal it up. Let's see if that helps. Still sounds kind of rough. I don't know why. I'm strongly suspecting here that I'm going to have to set up a leak test, which probably is going to consist first of air and then possibly of water to see where I actually have holes in this system. So it sure sounds like I have some. It's kind of to be expected for the shape it's in. It's a little disappointing, however. The other odd curiosity is I don't actually know what this is tuned in. All the other instruments I've ever played have been in double B flat. This one might be an F. Maybe. I'm not sure. I've never played one like that. So that's something else for me to figure out. But first I have to get the tone up, because without good tone, I really can't tune to anything. Thankfully, the valves appear to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and there's no blockage there. So that's a good story. The third valve may be playing against me as well, but my leak test should prove that. This is how engineering goes. Some days you win, some days you don't. So what I've set up to try to test out where there might be a leak in this instrument is a connection using a hose and an air gun to my air compressor over on the other side of the shop. The air compressor has a regular pancake air compressor with a 100-pound propane tank converted into an air compressor tank attached to it. So I've pumped that up to about 140 pounds of pressure right now, which is way more than I need right now and would probably blow the darn thing apart. But I'm not going to let that much into it. What I am going to try to do though is I'm going to try to blow enough air into it that I can feel where there might be some leaks in the piping without having to try to play the instrument and feel where those leaks are as well. See if I can come up with anything at least in that realm and then go from there. So there's definitely more damage on this lead pipe than I originally thought. There's a good crack right behind here that I was able to detect with this air. So here's the first success. As before, I'll use a bit of painter's tape to see if I can isolate that leak, at least temporarily, and then we'll have to decide what we're going to do with it. I strongly suspect that I'll probably be fabricating a new lead pipe for this instrument, or somehow otherwise finding one. That's my guess, but we'll see how bad it gets. Alright, that helped for that one. One major area that usually has quite a few leak problems is at the water key. Fortunately for me, the water key is actually very well corked and shows no problems or leakages whatsoever. That's a bit of a surprise given the response on the rest of the instrument. Yeah, got out the hose stretcher and got a little more, so we'll see if we can feel anything from the backside. As suspected, the issue seemed to be with the lead pipe, so I'll probably try to play it here in a second and see if that's resolved by temporarily plugging it. If it is, we'll have to address the lead pipe in some sort of form or fashion. I'll give you this, the tone is a lot better. So that's definitely part of the problem. Still not where I want it to be. Still a little rough, a little airy. So there's still some problems to solve. And the way the lead pipe is rather bent around here, I'm sure it's constricting the air in ways that just aren't quite right. And I'm sure the painter's tape isn't doing a very good job of actually controlling the leak the way it should. But it's better. That's the cleanest tone we've had so far, kids. So as you can see, not everything's perfect when you first try to play something, especially when it comes back from something so damaged. So we're going to need to do some work on that. Tune in next week when we'll be working on starting the prototyping of the valve replacement. I have some good ideas with that, probably some crappy ones as well. We'll have to work out which one is which. Also, I'm going to be looking at some suppliers for brass tubing and some other parts like that I'm going to need to replace on it, or try my hand at soldering. That ought to be fun, playing with fire. Tune in that time to see all the fun and see if I can't keep from burning the house down. Thanks much. See you soon.